How do you enroll coaching clients without dealing with objections? Nobody likes dealing with objections. Nobody likes doing sales calls as a coach. If you're constantly getting objection after objection, you're doing objection whack-a-mole. How do you stop that once and for all and get coaching prospects who basically want to work with you? Well, here's the problem coaches have. They get people on and call, and then people are like, oh, this is so amazing. I love this. Exactly what I want. Let me think about that. Or, it sounds a little expensive. Or, I'll get back to you next week. Or, I got to talk to my spouse. This, that, the other thing. And then what do? You get so frustrated. Or they tell you they have no money. When in fact, then you go on Facebook and you see they just took another trip around the world. They're on a cruise. They bought a car. And you're like, they told me they had no money. I can't believe this. And it just creates resentment and bitterness and frustration for you as the coach, and then it spirals you out of control. So how do we enroll coaching prospects or coaching clients without dealing with objections all the time? Well, the first thing you got to understand is that you have to sell out of versus into. This is very important. This is what most coaches fail to do this all the time. When you have somebody on an enrollment call, what the easy thing to do is sell them into your coaching program. It's so easy to say, hey, here's how awesome this is. Here's why you need to do this. This is the best thing ever. You're going to love this. It's going to do all these amazing things for you. And your ideal prospect's like, yeah, this is amazing. Really, I love it. This is great. This is what I want. This is the thing I've wanted the whole time. Oh my gosh, let's do it. And then you get to the price, they're like, oh, I don't think so. Here's what you got to realize. The higher the investment, the more people are buying themselves out of something versus into something. You can sell a $20 book, a $5 book, or something like that based on impulse. They're like, oh yeah, that looks cool, I'll buy it. But when it becomes to a coaching program, you need to remember that the most committed people are trying to get out of a situation, not into something, okay? And there's something that they're getting out of. They're stuck. The reason they need your coaching is because they have a problem. They can't fix it. They don't know how to fix it. They're stuck, okay? They're not buying more awesomeness. So what you need to do is focus on how to get them out of being stuck. What does that look like? How much is it costing you to stay where you are? And we'll get to that, but you got to realize it's all about what's the problem, what are you stuck at, and helping them fix what they're stuck, not all this amazing awesomeness. So the majority of your call needs to go to what's not working, what are you stuck with, and fixing that, okay? The second thing you need to do is realize that nobody is going to buy your coaching program if the cost of staying where they are is less than the investment of your coaching program. Here's how this works. So we're going to pretend I'm a mindset coach, right? And I'm like, say it's $5,000 for my coaching program. Okay, so we're going to get all these people in, we're going to do these calls and all that kind of stuff. But the problem is, what's going to happen is, on the one hand, we get to the price, and these people feel like you tell them it's $5K, and they're like, wow, $5K is a lot of money. I'm going to go, my problem really isn't that big of a deal. It's not that hard. It's not this. It's not that. It's not that. You see what I'm doing there? And then they justify it and then don't work with you, okay? And so when they come to the end of the call and you tell them the price, in their brain is a scale. And they're like, how much is it costing if I leave this call versus how much is it costing if I invest with this coach? And so what your job is, assuming they have a problem, you don't want to create chaos for people and fearmonger, but let's assume they truly do have a problem. I mean, I'm a mindset coach and they're stuck. I mean, their life's miserable. They're attracting misery into their life. It's just bad, right? Well, how much is that costing them? It could potentially be costing them promotions. It could be costing them their health. It could be costing them, maybe they got a divorce over it. I mean, it's spiraling out of control. So I need to show them by the end, to all through that call, here's the cost of what's happening in your life. It's this, it's expensive, and and you articulate it. It doesn't always have to be financial. It can be simply the cost, right? Like, oh my gosh, this is expensive, okay? And they need to understand that cost. And your coaching price needs to be here. So the cost needs to be here, and your investment needs to be here. And when they see the discrepancy of like, holy crap, this is expensive and this is costing me a lot. Again, remember, money is often the lowest, okay? So it's big, it's expensive, and it's down here, it's the cost, the investment. Once they feel that, it's a no-brainer. They're like, if I leave this call, it's going to continue costing me this, and it's increasing every day. Or if I invest with you, well, it is a cost, but boy, it's a way lower investment than that. You see what I'm doing there? And so you have to do that and help them understand, because their subconscious brain is going to do everything humanly possible to keep them stuck where they are, okay? Now, that's the second thing you need to do, okay? So we're going to sell them out of versus into. Nobody's looking for awesomeness, okay? The second thing we got to do is make sure the cost is higher than the investment. Now we have the third thing we need to do. Before we get to that third thing, I need you to do something very important. Two things real quick. Hit the like button so I know you like this video so I can create more of them up like this. And second of all, hit subscribe. Somewhere up there on this video, you're going to hit subscribe. And the reason why it's so important is I create a ton of these videos, and I've spent over $2.8 million on Facebook ads since 2021, and as of this recording. And I share all my learnings and what's working, what's not working to get coaching clients, to get them to move forward, all this kind of stuff here on YouTube. And if you don't subscribe, you're not going to hear or know when all the next videos are coming down the pipeline, and you're not going to know what they are or see them, and you could just miss one video that could have been the exact same video you needed, okay? So hit the subscribe button. Perfect. Now, number 3, stop selling too much stuff. Okay, this is a big problem that causes a lot of coaches to have tons of objections. What they do is they get too into the weeds of their coaching program. And so they'll be like, hey, we're having, we've got this call, and we've got that, and I'm going to do this, and we're going to overcome this, and I've got module 1, module 2, module 3 is about this, module 7's like this. And by the time people get to the end of the call, they're just fried. Their brain's fried. They're like, holy crap, this is a lot. I don't know if I really want this. I need to think about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be a big problem, okay? And so what you need to realize is that the more in detail you go, the more it overwhelms them, okay? For example, like I'll go to a chiropractor because I messed up my neck really bad skiing. I don't really care about all the steps. I just want the problem fixed. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing here. They're on the phone to talk about, does your coaching program help fix my problem? Okay? If it does, I want to do it, assuming the cost is, of not doing it's greater than the investment, so on and so forth, right? So that's what you need to do. And so keep it high level, because if you go into the weeds too much, it just overwhelms people, because they think they care, but they don't. Inevitably, they don't care what module 6 looks like on week 3, okay? They're just like, how long is it going to take? What's going on? And so on and so forth. If you have multiple calls per week, just tell them, hey, we got multiple calls per week. If you've got 28 modules, just say, I got modules for all this. We're going to talk about how to fix all that. You don't have to worry about a thing, okay? Because if you trigger the lizard brain where they're like, it forces them to their natural tendency to be like, I just got to think about this. This is a lot. Like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. And they lose confidence, and then they're not sure if they want to do it. So that's the biggest thing. Stop selling everything you have and just laser focus on helping them understand that your program fixes the one thing that they have wrong that they need to fix. Does that make sense? And so if you've got 100 other things, great. When they log in, they're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. I had no idea. I get all this extra stuff too. And they're going to feel like it's going to be a really good buyer experience versus overwhelm. Okay? Those are the 3 things you need to do in order to get clients. Now, the final thing I have for you for free is click the link in the pinned post or in the description. There's the upcoming webinar I have on the 300-word Facebook ad strategy and snowball system. I use to grow a 6-figure per month coaching business, and how you can use it to get started and start getting qualified clients who have money and who want to work with you from Facebook ads. You're also going to discover on this webinar why Facebook ads is the best traffic source right now to find qualified buyers, why Facebook's artificial intelligence has never been better and easier, what the biggest mistakes coaches are making, the biggest mistakes I made in spending over $2.8 million just in the last few years, what you need to know to get started fast, and how to do a whole bunch of other things. So click the link, get over there, and we'll see you on Now Webinar.